Okay, first and foremost, the sauce. Now that we know the components that the Big Mac is built out of, sauce came out to 0.6 of an ounce. Oddly enough, the amount of sauce that's on a Big Mac is exactly the same amount of ounces as the cheese. I've got this ordered off Amazon burger sauce, top secret, made by whatever. We're actually going to take the aggregate of what on the internet. These are the ingredients: mayonnaise, mustard, sweet relish, garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, and white wine vinegar. You type it in, how do you make McDonald's secret sauce? This is the basic ingredients that they all say is in that. We're gonna make this, we're gonna taste it against this. 0.6 of an ounce, 8.18% of 7.33 ounces, which we know is the size of a Big Mac, is 7.33 ounces. That percentage of 8.18% of a 320 ounce object, which is our 20-pound Big Mac, comes out to roughly a little over 26 ounces. It's like 26.19. We need 2 layers of sauce, so we're going to make 27 ounces of sauce and break it up into 2 13.5 ounce layers, and that's how we'll store it for the construction as we put it all together. So that's what we're doing here today. That's the sauce. This is here just because we're going to taste it. We're going to make the Google, internet, 50 different people all say this is how you do it, generic, and then this. So we're going to taste this, and we're going to taste this, and we'll see what the difference is. So let's start. Okay, so here's what we've got. We've got the stuff that you can buy on the internet. Oddly enough, looks a lot more like what's on a Big Mac, except that I just ate the two. We just ate the 2 Big Macs here at the house that came with the ones that we were dissecting to see what they're made out of. Because believe it or not, I haven't tasted either one. So we're gonna taste this one. Let's taste Tom's here. Boy, I gotta tell you, those are shockingly similar. We're gonna weigh this and take 2 13.5 ounce containers of this that are gonna equal those 2 layers that go on the thing during construction. Okay, so there we have it. For a 20-pound Big Mac, these are the 13.5 ounce 2 different layers of sauce that are going on there. Actually looks like kind of a lot, believe it or not. So anyway, these are the 2 layers, and that's the sauce. Okay, so we got the sauce done, we got the rolls, the meat, all the measurements for everything. Next is the pickle. Pickles in Big Macs do not get any love. I know I said in episode 1, I showed that across the screen. I'm like, wow, pickles are only 0.2 of an ounce, 2.72% of the entire Big Mac. That's really tiny. So we only need 8.5 ounces of dill pickles on this entire 20-pound thing. We're gonna weigh out 8.5 ounces of dill pickle minus the fluid. We're gonna put it in that. We're gonna weigh it in this. We're gonna put it in that. So yeah, that's the story, man. Dill pickles are not a thing. If you're craving dill pickles and you go get yourself a Big Mac, you're crazy. Meanwhile, if you don't like dill pickles and you get a Big Mac, you're probably fine, because it's not like you're gonna get inundated with a whole ton of those anyway. Instead of actually 8.5 ounces of dill pickles, let's pick only the big awesome ones, which is what we want. You can see a change there. We'll add 1 more pickle just to guarantee. Let's eat a small one. There we go. That is the amount of pickle, mathematically speaking, on a 20-pound Big Mac right there. Now we're going to put this in this jar, add some of this vinegar back to it, chill it, lather, rinse, repeat, add it during construction in 5 minutes. That brings us up to the cheese. Now we know that the cheese was exactly the same amount as the sauce, 0.06 or 0.6 of an ounce. Cheese and sauce are exactly the same, except there's one layer of cheese, not two layers of cheese like there is two layers of sauce, and oddly enough it's on the bottom before the meat patty. Strange to me. I don't understand why McDonald's puts it on the bottom, almost as if they melt it on there and flip it over, or they put the cheese and the patty goes on top of it. I don't know why they don't put it on the top and have it meet that middle bun, because there's nothing in between the middle bun and that thing. I'd be interested in the comments below if anybody can tell me why that is. Okay, there it is. That is the amount of cheese that you would have on a 20-pound Big Mac mathematically. Every Big Mac that we went over that we weighed with cheese, without cheese, the buns, even ones we scraped, it all came up as the exact size of what you buy at any store anywhere as a slice of American processed cheese in some factory in Wisconsin or wherever it comes from. I find that kind of refreshing. I think there's a tendency to think that there's some evil scientist somewhere in a lab, after you watch that documentary Super Size Me, that shows, you know, they're sitting there putting nicotine-like chemicals in there to keep you addicted and really engineering all the food. But oddly enough, when we went through everywhere we did at a Big Mac, it's this item from the store that seems to be on that Big Mac. I don't know if they ordered in bulk and they just whatever, but that square object on your Big Mac, maybe the whole thing's engineered, I have no idea. But this isn't, this part of it. It literally is just a square 0.6 ounce slice of American cheddar cheese that seems to be all around you, everywhere in every store. So anyway, we're going to wrap that, and again, we're going to chill that because we want to melt it fresh just on the top of that bottom patty. Flip it over or put the cheese on first, hot patty on top. Again, I'd like someone in the comments to explain to me why it's on the bottom instead of on the top. It makes no sense. All of you watching this video at home make hamburgers, put the cheese on top, melt it, and then throw it on the bun. I don't know why it's upside down. We're right down to the construction point. We need two things. We need onion and lettuce. Now this was difficult when we were taking the Big Macs apart to figure out exactly how much of it was lettuce and onion, so we left them out completely. What we did is we minused them off of the total amount at the end. And what we came up with was 1.13 ounces out of 7.33, which comes out to about 15.41% of the entire Big Mac is lettuce and onion. There's a layer of onion on each of the rolls right above the sauce, layer of lettuce above that. So each thing is times 2. 15.41% of 320 ounces comes out to a little over 3 pounds. So we need 3 pounds of lettuce and onion combo divided by 2. So roughly on each bun, about 1.5 pounds. We've got to figure out what the measurements of that are and how much of it is onion by weight and how much of it is lettuce by weight, so that when we construct it, it's exact. This pan is exactly the circumference of that original roll and meat that we were making that you'll remember. We're going to use this as the guide, and we're going to fill this with layers of onion and lettuce and then measure it until we can times it by 2 to get 3 pounds. Okay, that is layer 1 of onion that goes on top of layer 1 sauce, then pickles, then lettuce. Let's put that in the camera shot. Then lettuce, then patty, then middle row, lather, rinse, repeat, sauce, onion, lettuce, cheese. On top of this, then patty, then second layer, patty, and there it is. There you have it. All labeled, all chilled, all ready to go. Now let's make the meat. Let's get the apron on, and we'll start the construction. We're going to chill this stuff just until it's ready to use. Well, as always, we're running long. I'm trying to keep these videos down to 10, 11 minutes, and all the measuring that we did actually made this thing just take way too long. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to cut this video off. This is going to be part 3. This was just the measurements. We're ready to rock. We're getting really close to putting this thing together. We're going to start the construction. That'll be episode 4. And then, of course, episode 5 is going to be up sometime by Monday, June 10th, which is this coming Monday. And that'll just be the editing of it, because we're going to have 6 guys come here and eat the whole thing and hammer it all down and see if we can pound a 20-pound Big Mac with 6 guys in 30 minutes. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned. We're getting closer, and I'm sorry that I talk too much and this is running too long, but I really want to keep these videos down to like 10 minutes. Thanks.